This is not probably going to be one of your favorite sections, but one of the important ideas of mathematics is we're going to take the real world and we're going to turn it into a math problem. And that's the beauty of math, is that it's this language that can manipulate the real world things that we see around us in these very brief expressions or equations. So we're going to do the same here by working as translators, and we're going to translate into math language those ideas that we saw in the last couple of videos. So we're going to translate one word at a time. The first thing I want to do is the sum of 8 and negative 12. Okay, so the sum of 8 and negative 12. Now I'm going to put that in a parentheses to clarify that it's a negative 12. So I'm now summing those two things up. All right, now the comma is telling me that whatever we get for this, we're going to do something else to it. So the comma is saying we're going to create the sum of 8 and negative 12. Now, you could use a parenthesis. They've used a bracket here, but I'm going to group those. What it's telling me is that I have to finish the sum of these two numbers, and then I'm going to take that answer and I'm going to increase it by 3. Now, they use brackets, but it's the same thing here. So we could then tidy this up, just following stuff we did in the last videos. We get negative 1. Okay, the sum of 9 and negative 16. So I'm a translator here. Now I'm just going to use another parenthesis here. Now I put the negative 16 parenthesis because I'm adding a negative number, so I didn't have any other way to see that. Now you're taking that answer and you're increasing it by 4. Okay, now let's clean this up. We've got to work inside the parenthesis. I've got a plus and a minus, so I'm going to make that just a single minus from our rules before. Now you have 9, you owe me 16. You owe me 7. Now there's nothing else to do in that parenthesis, so I just got rid of it. So you owe me 7, you add 4, you get negative 3. Okay, try this one on your own. I recommend that you do, but got the sum of negative 8. Now, just because this is how they've been doing it, I'm not sure I would do all of this here, but let's say I'm going to make sure you understand it's a negative 8 and adding a negative 12. You would find that answer because of the comma, and you'd increase it by 7. So I'm going to fix the positive and negative and just make that a negative, because I don't like two signs in a row. Now you owe me 8, you owe me 12, you must owe me 20. You owe me 20, you have 7, you still owe 13. Okay, so let's do some more here. We're going to do the difference of 13 and negative 21. So difference is subtraction. So the difference of is going to create subtraction, and it's the difference of these two numbers. Now, because we're working with negatives in here, I'm going to do what they did here. Sub this in with a parenthesis. The difference of these two numbers. Okay, a double negative makes this 13. 13 plus 21. I get 34. Now be careful of subtracted from. So subtraction, I know we got a negative sign, but we're taking it from negative 19. So that puts the negative 19 in the front. From, take away 24. You owe me 19, you owe me 24 more. Yeah, they're actually wrong here. Yeah, this should be a negative 43. Okay, so let's do some more. The difference is going to be subtraction. The difference of 14 and negative 23. I've translated that into math language. I get 14 plus 23. Get 37. Okay, subtract 21 from negative 17. This one makes me go the other way around. I'm taking away 21 from negative 17. So I'm really just putting together two negative numbers, negative 38. The difference of 11 and 19 would be this. Two negatives in a row make a positive. Get 30. Now I'm subtracting 18 from negative 11. I guess I didn't need the parenthesis there, but I did it anyway. So subtracting 18 from negative 11. So you owe me, so this is what we're really doing. You owe me 11, you owe me 18 more, you must now owe me 29. All right, we've got some here now. We're going to use multiplication in these expressions. Product is multiplication, so it's the product of these two numbers, must mean I'm multiplying them. One's a positive, one's a negative, I get negative 28. Okay, the product of negative 5 and 12. So it would be 60, but I have a positive and a negative, negative 60. Product of these guys, I don't know, 13 times 8, and I'm too lazy to do it myself. So I get 104. Positive and a negative makes that a negative. Okay, same thing. Quotient is just division. So I'm dividing these two. Divide them, you'd get 8. You got two negatives, make a positive. The quotient of these two. So if you divide those, you'd get 7. Two negatives make a positive. Okay, so we've got two negatives, so we're going to wind up with a positive again. All right, I think we just have a few left here, and they're just putting it into a whole story. But if we see that we're really doing the same thing, the difference of the morning and afternoon temperatures. Okay, well, difference is subtraction. Let's use theirs. Difference is subtraction. The morning temperature was 11. The afternoon temperature was a negative. So the difference of the morning and afternoon temperatures. Now I've got two minuses in a row. Gets me 20. So the difference in the morning and afternoon temperatures again. So the morning temperature is 15. In the afternoon, we have negative 30. So two minuses in a row make a positive. I get 45. Okay, difference in the two temperatures again. So the lunchtime temperature and the difference with the sunset temperature. Two minuses in a row make a positive. Okay, you owe me 6, but you paid back 15. You'd have 9 in your bank. All right, just a few more of these if I remember correctly. So this time we're doing the same thing, but we're just, I'm trying to see if there's an easy way to explain it. Yeah, I don't see like keywords that make this. You kind of just intuitively. So they had 3 penalties of 15 yards. So they lost 15 yards and they did it 3 times. Well, you could add that, negative 15, negative 15, negative 15. But multiplication is just repeated addition. So in other words, they had 3 penalties, 15 yards, that's going to be multiplication. And they were minus 15 yards. So 3 and 15 is 45, a positive and a negative, negative 45. Okay, same thing. They keep losing 15 yards, but they do that 7 times. Well, when you keep repeating like that, you're just multiplying. So you get 105, positive and negative, negative 105. Okay, he keeps getting a $2 fee. He did it 8 times. So it's a fee, so he's losing that money. He did that 8 times, multiplied together, that's 16. Positive and negative, negative 16. Okay, I hope that wasn't too bad, but they'll keep introducing this because the big picture, we want to turn math language or English language into math language, so we're kind of doing it one step at a time. The book actually does a pretty good job of just kind of introducing that a little bit at a time so that when we get to the harder word problem sections, we're prepared.